Welcome to another episode of Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Dave.
I'm Mia.
And I'm Gretchen.
Today we are going to be painting some terrain, something a little bit different. We've painted some ghosts, we've painted some zombies, we've painted a bunch of different stuff. I can't even remember what we painted last week, but a whole bunch of Halloween sort of spooky,
This kind
scary
of
stuff.
stays spooky. It's like a place for the spooky things to live.
It is exactly like that. So we're painting, so today and Thursday we'll be painting up the solarium here from the Wyrdscapes line from Wyrdscapes, who do Malifaux, which is like a miniature skirmish game. They've got Through the Breach, which is their role-playing game, and also they're just about to release The Other Side, which is their like mass combat game. But we'll talk a bit about sort of their world as we're going through and doing the painting and that sort of thing. So I think the Solarium and a couple of other box sets are available in your stores, local store at the moment, which is pretty cool. So you can head down and pick this up. We also were sent a few other things.
Oh.
So this one, Pathways, and I think we've got a couple of other box sets in Rick's office. They're
I
hiding
feel like
there.
you're just gonna like pull things out from a hat.
Just keep going.
And more.
Keep taking things.
Reveal.
But yeah, so these the terrain pieces are all hard plastic, so high impact polystyrene. I'm just going to snag one of these there, so I can show you the sprue that the terrain comes on. We left a couple of the pieces on there because they're a little bit awkward to paint separately. Otherwise,
And messy.
yeah. So what we're doing today is like a team paint sort of thing. So we're all doing something slightly, dream team paint. So we're doing something slightly different. So as we're going through, we'll have a look at what each person's working on, what techniques we're using, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to start showing off this part of the building, which is the most of the building kind of thing. Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, ah.
The cool thing as well is that the interior is sort of completely detailed.
I like that.
It's got a rug.
For the show, we won't actually be painting the interior, just because it's super detailed.
No, there's like a rug down there.
Yeah, actually, that's
Yeah.
the floor
See,
comes off.
look.
That's awesome.
That's a nice
So I'm just going to put this under the
You can
close
hide
cam
things
there.
Like monsters.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, there's a rug on the floor. There's a boiler in the corner, a furnace, and there we go. You can look up into it. Ooh.
I could see Dave getting like really detailed with those tiles on the floor.
Yeah, it'd be kind of scary, I think. I'm glad that we're not actually going to paint them on the show.
I'm gonna come back and he's gonna have like Grecian tiles.
But yeah, you can see the very interesting sort of architectural details that that Weird have gone for in this piece. There's one piece here that broke off on the way here.
Oh no.
Feeling a bit bad about that. That's okay. We'll be able to glue it back. See, just like that, like magic. And no close cam. There we go. Okay. But we've got a cool walkway up around the top. Mia has all of the railings, basically, for that external walkway. So we've got the ones that go around on the... Oh, I picked the wrong spot. There we go. Is that it? Yep, there we go. So they all fit into a particular spot around the edge. But Mia's going to be dry brushing those.
Yep.
And then Mia's also going to be working on the railings.
I've got all the safety features.
You do. You do. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Without
Yeah,
me all
making
fall
sure
off.
we're safe.
That's pretty cool. There we go. And you've got a couple of other things as well there. So things like there's a little chimney piece that comes out of the roof over here. But yeah, so we've got the lid here. Some would call it the roof. But what you can also do with this is put the piece that Gretchen's going to be painting on top.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! To make it the solarium.
Oh.
Ooh, ah. You're just prompting us with all the oohs and ahs, aren't you, Leona? That's Leona's role today. But yeah, so I think that's going to be really cool once that's painted up as well. And one of the exciting things with the Wyrdscapes models is they're all designed to be modular. So the roof from the abandoned store will fit on top of this. The solarium will fit on top of the abandoned store.
That's really awesome.
I think there are some where you can start to stack them even higher. So you might be able to put the abandoned store on top of the solarium.
So you can really make it work for all your storytelling needs.
Yep, exactly. And this one here, the pathways, you see it's just a lot of staircases sort of leading to nowhere.
All the stairs.
All the stairs. But there
Trip.
are other parts. But basically, Wyrd have created this entire table's worth of terrain that you can put together and walk up different levels, move around, interact in a whole sort of awesome cityscape. But yeah, so
Chris says, Stairs of Doom.
Stairs of Doom, Stairways to Heaven. There we go. No? Okay.
Maybe.
So there we go. Yeah, I think one of the fun things. Like normally, I really enjoy looking at how the studio. Like each company has their own studio, or they farm out to freelance painters. They have basically like the studio copy or the studio model. So I like to look at those and riff off that generally. Wyrd, on the other hand, do something really different, and they don't have any painted miniatures. They don't show any painted miniatures anywhere. They're all the digital renders, typically is what they show. So there is absolutely no color scheme to be drawn from this, really.
You have to use your imagination.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but I don't have one of those. So. But what I've done first to get things sort of rolling as well is I basically primed it with a bunch of different colored sort of rattle cans. Just got some spray primer. Started with a brown. You can see that brown color underneath there. Hit the wood with a gray. Because
Chris says gray. Gray is the color scheme.
gray is the color scheme.
That is the color scheme, Dave.
I can just do that with a spray can then. Should we just do a spray can? It'd be a really super short episode. But yeah, just hit them with like a greenish bone sort of color. Yeah, I think we'll just. I might start with some of the messier stuff first. So Mia's doing some dry brushing. Gretchen, what are you going to be working on to start
I'm
with?
starting on all of the brass metally bits.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Excellent.
So that I can get some of those done, and then we'll go into the wash, so at least some of it gets shown for everybody.
Excellent. Okay. Cool. Let's get started then.
Matthew says spray, wash, dry brush. Oh, where did it go? Spray, wash, dry brush, done.
Yep. That's the great thing about terrain is that you can definitely do it quickly. This one's obviously got a lot of details that we could pick out, but there's a lot of things in here like cracks and texturing that will just take washes really well. So pretty excited to see how that goes. I wonder if Mel is in the chat. Mel Bowes.
Do not see, but I do see James says hello, everyone.
Hey, James.
Hello.
Excellent.
A lot of hellos. Everybody is here, Dave.
Everybody's here?
Everybody.
Everybody. All the peoples. Excellent.
All of them.
All
No,
the
that-
important people.
Excellent. That's cool. So, because we're painting essentially a haunted house,
Yes.
I was going to ask, or I asked earlier, who has been watching The Haunting of Hill House on Rick's favorite platform, Netflix?
Watch it.
I finished it in 2 days.
Oh, Mel is there. Mel says hey.
Hey, Mel.
Oh, really, David? Terrain is quick to do.
Yep. Anybody can do it, right, mate? Am I wrong? Isn't that what your whole channel is about? Helping people do it? Mel's got a whole channel. Mel is the terrain tutor and does loads and loads of awesome terrain builds and tutorials. So,
Yeah, I have not
Yes.
watched it yet.
haven't watched it yet.
I want to.
So
I
no
love
f-
the spooky. The scary, I should say. That's less that's outside the realms of spooky.
Yeah, it's definitely in the scary. But now I know how Rick feels when I say I didn't watch it. Because I did watch it this time. So Mia, you binged it in 2 days?
Yes, I binged it in 2 days. Like stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning the
Oh my
first
God,
one.
that sounds
wow.
scary. I was told it's, I believe it was Natasha who told me it was something to watch in the daytime with my cat,
That's probably a
not
good
by
idea.
myself.
I'd agree. That's a good
Matthew
idea.
says they do look really nice. Are they pre-built?
No, they are definitely not pre-built. So they come on sprues, clip them off, assemble them almost as you would a sort of a normal model. One of the things with Wyrds, like as with Wyrds miniatures, the terrain is sort of keyed. There are lots of areas where it can only go together essentially one way. So the walls are it's easy to work out where the walls go. It's easy to work out where all the different bits and pieces fit, which is good because I was able to put this together without instructions. So, because Wyrd also they don't put instruction books or anything like that in their box sets, but on their website they have sort of PDFs that you can
Okay.
download. And
You don't need
sort of work on that.
instructions.
Yeah, for a second I thought he was gonna be like, they just
That's
don't
for
have
IKEA.
Instructions. You don't need no stinking instructions. Actually, that would have been good. I'm going to make a little sort of confession. So
We're
this,
ready, Dave.
yeah, this is the roof, the lid, the ceiling. It's all the different things. When I was finished, I had a whole bunch of pieces that were left over, and I didn't know where they went. So kind of like building an IKEA piece of IKEA furniture. So I just put them aside. But now, sitting here, looking at it, it's like, oh, there are lots of little tabs around here that I hadn't noticed before. And that's exactly where those pieces should have gone. So I'll fix that up for Thursday. But yeah, easy. Totally easy, right, Mel? But yeah, it didn't take long to put it together. I think all of the pieces are going to be pretty straightforward like that, which is nice. Oh, so I'll move this out of the way.
Seems we have different opinions going on in the chat about whether or not to put things together or dry fit things or...
All right. Dry fitting is a good idea. Yeah. So who's been the advocate for dry fitting?
Matthew.
Well, Matthew, I think you're probably correct there. I agree.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that I always do the dry fit, but it is a good idea for the first time you're working with a kit to get all the pieces together and sort of get a good idea of how they go together, because otherwise you may be embarrassed on the internet. Okay.
So I have a question for you, Dave.
Yep.
So we were talking about haunted houses. Have you ever been to like one of those haunted houses, haunted hayride houses with the spooky people?
I have once. It was is it Field of Screams?
Okay.
That's one of them,
Is that-
yeah.
Yeah.
Just in Pennsylvania, or maybe just this side of the PA
That
line.
sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
So, yeah, it's somewhere around here. I know. I've seen the billboards.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Did you enjoy it though? Did you get scared?
I probably did. I
Did they chase you?
I expect I did. I don't know if there was any chasing. There's probably lots of sort of the jump scare.
Is it grabbing?
Pushing.
Is it...
No grabbing. But the jump scare, like everything goes quiet, and you're like, oh, when's it gonna come? When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? Boom.
I've never been to one. I really want
Really?
to.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in
fun.
theater as a kid, so I feel like there's like two options, right? Like either I'm gonna get really into it and I'm just gonna like improv back with them and everyone's gonna get a good giggle. Or I'm gonna be that like dumb person whose fear reflexes are too strong, and I'm gonna punch someone in the face by accident and feel really bad and maybe cry.
You never know. It could be both.
It could be both, yeah.
And that does happen.
It's more likely.
does.
Yeah, like, it's more likely to be both if you start with the giggling and the fun, and then punching later.
Like,
If it starts with the punching, generally it's going to end there. I think.
I'm always terrified.
I don't know. What about you, Mia?
So I actually worked at one when I was 18. I worked at a haunted house. And it was exactly like you say. Like, so I would do one of the jump scares where we would jump out of the windows.
I would
And-
cry if I punched someone. I would cry more than they would cry.
Well, it was always like the guys that you wouldn't think would be scared. It's always like the big burly guys that you're like, oh, this guy can handle it. And they maybe had like a drink or something before they went, because it was always on Saturday nights or Friday nights.
Right.
And yeah, just be like this big guy, and he'd like freak out and just start swinging. And yeah, they stopped letting the girls work the jump scares after that, after a while. And
I hear there's a lot of problems with that in those facilities.
Yeah.
Because people get shoved around and whatnot. Chris says, they aren't that fun. PSA, don't take a sword with you because the guy with the chainsaw will run. I don't typically take my swords anywhere other than where they're supposed to go.
Good.
Though that would be really funny if I just like pulled out like, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Wait, is that an Australian reference?
Maybe.
Jeez. Okay.
But those were always fun. I liked working it just because it is kind of fun. But yeah, I have that problem where I can't go to them now because I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I had a few friends that would always have like fun with it because again, we were all theater people, so they'd be like, "Oh, brains," and they're like, "Nope, none here." But I do want to go with a few friends just because I have friends that I know would get a good like kick out of it, and I want to pull the Scooby-Doo maneuver.
Okay, what's that one?
All right, so I have friends that we've like watched spooky things and we've gone camping together, and they cling to my arms. And they like follow behind me, clinging to me, just
Right.
like in Scooby-Doo when you have like the lineup of people. And
Right.
I want to get like one of the actors to come and switch out hands with me when they're not paying attention.
That'd be awesome.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That is dream goals right there.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd
I
be
might
excellent.
be a mischief maker. I just have to tell you.
You said Mike.
It was a Highlander Halloween.
Oh, right.
Every day is Highlander if you believe.
Yep.
Or if you sword fight, I don't know what to tell you. Kids raised on Scooby-Doo do well playing D&D because they know not to split the party.
Yep.
That is a fact.
Exactly. So I think James works at a haunted house. Is that correct? I'm pretty sure that's correct, James. How's it been going this year? Because I know he's in the chat there.
He is in the chat.
We know you're there.
I know you're there, James.
You can't escape us.
What?
We're feeling spooky, Dave. Get with it.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Excellent. But no, you definitely, I can guarantee that everybody needs to, well, it's a big piece. It's going to move around.
It's so big she can't even get in one shot.
Yep.
She's like, we're just going to back the camera up for this episode.
Yep. Okay, we just got it in there.
Good. No.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to do some of the, so I'm going to go around base coating the wood sections, all these timbered sections around the bottom. And then I can let that dry, give it a quick light dry brush with some gray, and then start on the bricks. How are those railings going there?
Oh, good. Just slowly adding on layers and
Cool.
lighter and lighter
Bit.
browns. Yep.
Bit by bit, piece by piece.
Piece by piece. We'll get there. But
Keep this as tidy as possible.
So are you guys handing out Halloween candy this year, or going to any parties, or doing anything special?
I don't think any kids come to our apartment. I don't know. So my boyfriend's never done anything for Halloween, but I put decorations out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna buy some just in case candy, right? And if they don't show up, I get candy.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they do show up, it's the good candy. I'm gonna eat it too.
nice.
But other than that, no real plans. I know there's a spooky night at some of the bars are doing Halloween things. So maybe that, maybe not. Otherwise, just the candy and some bad horror flicks, maybe.
There you go. What about you, Dave? What are you gonna do?
We put up our Halloween decorations on the weekend, on Sunday. Ever since my neighbors moved, when they moved at the beginning of summer, but when they were getting rid of some stuff, one of the things they got rid of was like a anatomically correct skeleton, sort of a teaching skeleton kind of thing. So my wife said, "Oh, I know exactly who'd love that," and she promptly snuck it into the house and put it in my daughter's bed, in
I
Lucy's bed.
love your
That's
wife.
great.
Yep. She's pretty awesome.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
And yeah, Lucy just loves it. And after a little while, it ended up being sort of the home of several stuffed toys. They lived in its rib cage. But we got it all cleaned out of stuffed toys, and it's now hanging on the porch, or from the porch roof. And we got some of those, basically the spider web things, the huge spider web pieces that you can tease out. So we've got that up on our porch now. And then my daughters enjoyed decorating that with the webs with plastic cockroaches and spiders and
Of course,
that
of
sort of
course.
thing. So, yep, we've got all that done. We were
Chris says, gotta have a Hellraiser-a-thon, and John Dickerman says, hand out Brussels sprouts.
hand out Brussels sprouts.
Sounds like a good way to get an egging.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts are expensive. Too expensive to be handing out to just anybody.
And you know what? They're pretty good if you cook them right.
They're great.
Yeah. With some bacon bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do them with sriracha, lime
Ooh.
juice, and maple syrup. My God, did I just accidentally mention maple syrup? Right after that Netflix comment.
Mel says, I had a skeleton from my physio days, buried it in the garden before we moved.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Awesome. Good work, Mel.
I love that. I found a place recently, speaking of gardens and burying things, I found a place online where you can buy life-size dinosaur garden statues.
Really?
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, they have payment plans. They're like $2,000, $3,000, but
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm just saying, for all your Jurassic needs, I'm definitely going to get one for my yard at some point in time.
I expect
Dinosaur fund.
that if somebody, like if Hallmark starts up a dinosaur-themed holiday, then I'm sure
I would be all
we'd end up
about
with one of
it.
those.
All the time. I make dinosaur, I have dinosaur cookie cutters.
Okay.
And for Christmas one year, all my gingerbread cookies were dinosaurs.
Oh,
Right.
I like it.
Gave them out. And most of my tree is also dinosaur inclined.
Nice. That is cool. Speaking of cookies, I did some more baking on the weekend.
Oh, how did that go?
Nice.
Yeah, I went back to it after messing up with the cupcakes. Good, we made cookies. Chocolate chip cookies.
Wait, I didn't hear. What did you do to the cupcakes?
The cupcakes? I kind of messed up. So it was a box of cupcake mix, and there were 2 bags in it. And one bag was for the cupcakes, and one was for the
I
frosting.
love this story every time I hear it.
Oh no.
But yeah, so you can see where it's going.
Oh God.
The frosting mix ended up in.
What was the consistency like?
Imagine like really warm, bubbly frosting sitting in the oven.
Delicious.
Delicious. Yes, it was just fine.
I'm sure it tastes
Nice and
great.
caramelized.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't very good.
Mini Painting Studio says, I had a dinosaur poncho I used to wear, but apparently it did not scream wholesome person. So
All right.
they
Okay.
stopped wearing it.
Oh. You just gotta find the right places to go.
Chris Cox just says soup.
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 Ah.
I think in reference to your cupcakes.
All right. Yeah.
Almost need one.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, they were
Or
definitely not.
No, not really. That's all right. I'm like, I'm not prepared. I'm just grabbing it from down here.
You were busy. We understand, Leona.
She set all this up earlier. So.
Yeah.
So my oven is not equipped for baking right now.
Okay.
And my boyfriend promised to fix that and bought biscuits to remind himself to fix it. And promptly forgot, but still tried to cook biscuits, but he couldn't bake the biscuits.
Right.
So he broiled them.
You could only broil them. Okay.
Which means that they were delightfully cooked on top, but still raw underneath. So he flipped them and cooked them again. And it was very clever.
Yep.
Right?
But not very tasty.
No, actually, they were very good. It was just clever. And I was like, okay, broiled biscuits.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. There you go.
Wholesome person, says G-Dog, that casually braids beards and uses a long sword. I am wholesome.
Yep.
Don't be, very wholesome. No stabbings. I've never stabbed someone with injury.
Never deliberately
In
stabbed
real
somebody with
life.
a-
In real life, yeah. Well,
You took a pause there.
There's some combination of words that'll work out.
I've always had a tipped sword when stabbing
Oh, okay,
people.
right here. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so you-
wholesome.
Excellent.
We just call it, when we do grappling or wrestling and everything, it's just called hema hugs,
Give him hugs. Okay.
Yeah. It's just a different way of showing affection.
Right.
That's all that is.
I'm just going to squeeze the life out of you. That's all. I love you that much.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
give you this little love tap with 3 feet of
it's-
steel.
Yes, a little love tap with 3 feet of steel. That's. I've never given anyone a concussion.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah. Not that I know of.
You were doing so well before you said that. You're like, I never did. Not that I know of.
I'm not aware.
We used to call biscuits made like that slap and stick hockey pucks.
All right.
You know what? I ate one for breakfast with fig jam, and it
Yeah.
was delightful.
Yeah.
Bill Wild Willie Divers says, love it. I'm not sure if
Excellent.
they're referring to what, but I'm going to say it's everything.
Yeah.
They just love everything.
Love it all.
Yep.
I'm sure it was the description of the cooking of the biscuit. That's my thought anyway.
Yummy. You know what? I mean, slap and stick hockey pucks just sound delicious.
They
I don't.
do, don't
Oh
they?
yeah, you know, hockey pucks. That's like my favorite food group.
You must be Canadian.
Put some maple syrup on that and
Yeah.
call it a day.
Yep, exactly. If we say maple syrup one more time, Rick's going to appear.
Yeah, spooky Halloween tale. If you turn off all the lights, look into a mirror and whisper maple syrup 3 times.
Rick will appear behind you.
Yeah.
Super scary.
I'm like waiting for him to like come out. It's like watching a horror movie. You start looking in the background for stuff. Like, I know he's there. All right, I think I got all the little railings done.
Cool.
With some dimension and colors.
Excellent.
I gotta stop though sometimes when it comes to wood, because it's like the more you add more colors, you get more dimension and it becomes
Right.
more. And then I've now put on like 12 different colors of brown that
Right.
I've mixed myself. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't look any different on like the
that
20th.
might be far enough, yeah.
The
It might
20th
be.
draft. There we go. All right. And we'll move on.
That's cool.
Yeah,
let's do
here
that.
we go.
Okay.
So you want to, some of
Okay.
it's still a little wet.
Ta-da.
Try to
Yep.
give it some dimension, a little lighter
some
on the
light.
top where the sun would hit it, right?
Yep, some nice depth there. Looking cool.
Yeah. There we go. So they're all
How's that
kind
one? Oh, there we go. Yep, these all look great sitting around the side there. And nope.
Where
gonna
do
find it.
you
It's everywhere.
belong?
It goes somewhere. That's not it. I will
Matthew
find it
says
later.
that. Matthew says that fence does look crazy good though.
Thank you.
Yep,
Okay.
definite.
20 browns and all.
Excellent. Okay. So as you can see on the house here, I've gone around and done all those sort of wood pieces underneath there. Now I'm going to go and do some of the brickwork around here. Now I could just leave it as if the whole house has been painted in that color. So they've painted over all the bricks around there, but it looks a bit more exciting when you add in a different shade. So I'm going to go for actual, like a red brick kind of feel for it, I think. Use some red leather from Vallejo. Mix that in. But I think before we get... Oh, wait, we're already too far into the show. I can't mention any of these things now.
Oh. Well,
Bugger.
next time
No?
on.
Okay. Radio.
Paint faster.
We've got a bajillion different competitions going on at the moment. So it is true. It's kind of ridiculous. I can't keep track. One of them that we do have is a guess the number of dice in the glass pumpkin here. So people can see that.
It's not 12.
No. It's slightly more than 20.
14.
14? A little bit more. A little bit higher.
That's not wrong. There
Okay.
are at
I mean,
least
yes.
14 dice
See?
in
It
that
is true.
pumpkin.
Theoretically, we're kind of right.
At least 14, yeah. What I'm going to do, actually, is add another dice to it. I brought a really cool orange and black
He's like thrown off the count
pumpkin
completely
dice.
now.
So I've thrown off the count completely. Everybody has to start again. But there's a, that's on the Painting Happy Little Minis page. Is that correct, Leona?
It's on the Game Trade Media page.
Oh, okay.
It's a pinned comment.
A pinned comment.
I mean, a pinned,
Notification? Notice? Announcement. Pinned post announcement, whatever Facebook's calling them these days. So on the Game Trade Media page, you can head there and take a guess at how many things we have in there. Was there a prize or was it just bragging rights?
the prize is behind you. It's betrayal.
That's right.
It's betrayal.
It's betrayal.
Betrayal.
Your prize is betrayal. Betrayal at the house on the hill. So not the haunting of Hill House, but betrayal at the house on the hill. Will be the prize for that. So we'll draw that next week, I think. Is that right? Or not draw that, but...
The 30th.
30th? Okay, so next Tuesday, we'll be giving that away to the person who guesses closest. So we have that prize. We have a competition for passing 750 members in the Painting Happy Little Minis group.
Wow. Yeah, guys.
Yep. I think we're actually up over 800 now.
Yep.
So we're racing towards
And get to
1,000.
1,000. Get to 1,000.
Yeah, next
Share.
week, yeah.
The boxes.
Yep. Boxes to my left. Everything's prepared by Leona. So here we go. So the prize there is this box of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So you can win this. What do people have to do for that, Leona?
Post your painting place.
Oh, post your painting place. So in the Painting Happy Little Minis group, head there and post photos of your painting place. Is it hashtag painting place?
No.
No, just, okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, just post some photos of your painting area. That could be your kitchen table, your dining room table. You might have a specific dedicated area. You might have a little project tray that you move from place to place. All sorts of things, but post photos of your painting place. And I guess we'll be randomizing that.
Yep.
So, cool. So, and we'll randomize that and give that away.
Ooh.
Nice.
Probably around the end of the month as well. And I'm sure there are other ones that I'm forgetting.
We have a DMD.
Oh,
It's okay.
that's okay. Yes. That's a D&D thing. Rick will talk about that on Thursday. So come back on Thursday for an even expanded
Hey,
chance
Natasha.
of winning prizes. Hey,
And
Natasha.
Chris says, what happens if you have to move a lot?
If you have to move a lot, like move houses, are you on the run? Chris is on the lam. Well, there are like little project trays that you can pick up. Games Workshop sells like a plastic one. Quite a few different MDF sort of laser cutting places like Impudent Mortal.
I feel like
And
you
that
should
sort of
get
thing.
creative.
Do
Like prime
Different trays.
creativity.
Hmm?
So that's like prime creativity right there. Like
yeah.
I have I keep all my watercolor stuff in a suitcase from the 1960s
Oh,
that my
cool.
dad had. Yeah.
Oh wow, nice. That's cool.
Excellent.
It's very flower power.
So I think things like that, definitely a cool idea. So you know where everything is, you know where to go to get stuck in to your painting. So I think that's good. I won't post any photos of my painting place because it is terrible. It's like an episode of Hoarders.
Mine's not too far off right now.
Yeah.
I'd say my desk is a little cluttered. It's kind of a little I Spy mixed with Ghibli film. Very things everywhere, a few soot sprites, lots of dinosaurs.
Right.
See, my problem is it's gotten cold, so I don't want to go up into my studio to do anything. So I just bring everything downstairs in front of the TV. So it's like there's my coffee table with like all the paints and all of my
Yup.
projects, and I'm just, you know, my fiance comes home and I'm like, hi.
Hi, I'm
sorry, the
sorry.
living room's a mess.
I'll get
It's
this-
cold.
I'll
get this cleaned up as soon as I'm finished.
I'm not a winter person.
Neither am I.
Not about it.
I don't do well in the cold.
Yeah, I don't.
I think Leona
Not
just asked you guys to
humidity.
leave.
I can't keep body heat very well. I'm just
Yep.
consistently cold all the time.
Same. I'm always cold.
Oh well, Leona.
You guys can have all the cold weather you want.
I'm just gonna take a trip.
I'm going to Texas like the next 2 weeks, and I'm like, I'm just gonna
I'm gonna
like.
migrate. Migrate and hibernate. So,
Excellent.
Michael says, I bought a few essential oil cases off eBay. They travel nicely. How
Okay.
very Pinterest of you. That's. And then Mel says, yours is like hoarders? Question mark.
My painting place.
Is it like hoarders?
It is. Yeah, yeah. It's exactly. It's.
Mine's a little
Yep.
like hoarders. It's just themed. It's themed hoarders.
Themed hoarders, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
because it's dinosaurs and paints and watercolors.
Yeah.
Is there like an organized hoarders? Because it's like I still got a bunch of stuff and it's still everywhere, but it's like in piles and in groups. So it's like
Okay.
organized chaos.
Organized chaos is fine.
Yeah,
right?
you
There
know
we
where
go.
everything is.
Yeah.
Is it truly mess if you know where everything is?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a mess. My fiance has something else to say, but that's all right.
That's like me with the kitchen. Like my boyfriend will know where everything is, but I'm like, put it off the counter.
Right. And I think for mine, it's things like I just get so into like a painting project, and when I finish like clipping a model out, that sort of thing, the sprue will go on the desk, and then several years later, I will come across it because it's been under a pile of other sprues that end up being stacked on top of it. So things like that. But yeah. Oh, just remembered. as well. Did you get those? We had to pull out those photos that I mentioned to you, Leona. Okay. Something that we started. Did we start doing it last week? Week before? Like 2 weeks we've been doing it. Is picking out some cool things that people have been posting in the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group. So there are a couple I picked out. I'm not sure which one we have up first.
Pumpkin.
Oh, okay, the Pumpkin Knight here from William West.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks really
Oh, I
cool.
love that.
So apparently that's a Reaper Mini that that William found just after last Halloween. So we thought it was appropriate to paint it for October this year. So it looks really cool. Anytime you stick a pumpkin head on anything, I think
Instantly cool.
instantly cool. Very neat. And the other one is this sort of ethereal / zombie pirate from Simon Pitts. Looks really awesome. Someone did a great job there.
Oh, that's really cool. I like the hair
Yeah.
or feathers
feather?
or what, I don't know what those
And
are.
sort of the cool purple up there.
Kind of like a Goku do going on.
Yeah, looks awesome. And one thing you might not be able to tell unless you sort of look really closely, but apparently the face is half skull, half flesh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely neat. So, awesome work. Congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we have so I've mentioned it a couple of times. I think it's been mentioned plenty. But, yeah, we have a Facebook group, Painting Happy Little Minis. Just gone over 800 people.
Richard says, I arrived late. Where do we post pics of painting space?
Just in the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group. So if you aren't a member, become a member. Just head over there, click Join Group, and one of us will add you to the group, and you'll be able to post photos of your painting place with the opportunity to win that Age of Sigmar boxed game, which is pretty cool. It's always fun trying to talk and concentrate.
Thea's here.
Hey, Thea.
Hello.
Excellent.
Join in the party.
I feel like every time I come on the show and paint, I realize how madly I need to get my glasses redone.
And I have to remember to bring mine. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but
See, the only time my vision fails me is nighttime. I have horrible night vision that
right.
they're like, maybe you should wear glasses for, but eh.
Has to be wear sunglasses, just to make it even worse.
God.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Challenge mode.
I'm going to play life on hard. There we go. How's the solarium coming along?
It's coming along. It's coming
Oh,
along.
very nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sure, this under the close cam.
Go ahead.
Excellent. So what do we think of that?
All of the fine details are so hard.
Yeah.
I'm just like, don't shake, don't shake, don't twitch.
There are a lot, aren't there? But yeah, that's looking neat. It's very cool. Once done, I think we'll put a gloss varnish over certain areas, like around the centers of the panes, I think,
I like that.
and leave it a little bit sort of grungy on the outsides, the edges of the panes.
This is one of those, one of the ones that I feel if you could light it up from the inside
That would be cool
would be cool.
if you're able to do that. But it is actually solid gray plastic.
That's my if.
That's a shame.
The if was there.
Yeah. Can you guys hear that? It sounds like some scraping or some shuffling in the walls. Yeah.
Too spooky.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just me.
You did say maple syrup quite a lot.
I did.
Oh my god, I think that was the third time, guys. The lights flicker.
Yep. That'd be funny. But yeah. Here we go. Oh, I also said that I was going to talk a little bit about Malifaux, didn't I?
You did.
All the worlds of Weird. I will admit, the only game that I've played is Malifaux. I didn't really get into a lot of the background when I was playing it, but the general idea is that in a sort of pseudo-Victorian England, they found a like a portal through to another world.
England's doing that quite a lot.
Yeah,
That happens a lot in England.
it does. Well, it's a fantastic place to do it, particularly London, like the back streets of London. That's definitely where you want to do that sort of thing. But they have this portal through to another world, and the portal's known as the Breach. And on the other side, basically different groups sent through different operatives to try and gain a foothold and gain control of certain areas. But now there are a whole bunch of different factions who are on the Breach side in the world of Malifaux. And Malifaux itself, I think, kind of started off as a collection of really wild and wacky miniatures. Lots of mashup stuff. A lot of the very early steampunk and other mashup kind of minis. But then we had created a game to go with it, and all of these different things were brought into it. So there's like a Bayou Goblins kind
Ooh.
of faction. There's like an Inventors Guild kind of steampunk kind of feel with lots of automata and that sort of thing. There's a group called the Guild, who are kind of the law in the lawless land. But yeah, lots of crazy things, but very sort of steampunk horror fantasy-esque kind of everything thrown in, jumbled up, and sort of spat back out. So that's why all of the architecture there is twisted and grim in its appearance, which is pretty neat. But Through the Breach is the role-playing game, which, not surprisingly, is about going through the breach and adventuring in the Malifaux world. I know.
You don't
I know.
say.
Sometimes it needs a little bit of explaining. I say sometimes because it rarely does.
Gabrielle says, or Gabriel, sorry, live painting and hobby talk. Nice.
Yes, indeed. But the new game that's coming, I'm not sure when it's released, but is The Other Side.
Ooh.
So, soon, coming soon. Now, of course, you think The Other Side might be the Malifaux side, right? Because we always look at things from our
Yeah.
real-world perspective. But no, it's actually, The Other Side is people looking back into the real world as such. So, but yeah, that's a mass combat game with all new troops, all new unit sort of styles, new factions, lots of the nations of the world are involved in that.
Alright, this is just
But,
Oh, this part was just going to come off.
oh, go.
It was barely hanging on. I was like, nah, we're just going to take you off and just, it's going to be messy, but
We had I think, yeah, when it was at Gen Con, I had the chance to talk with the guys from Weird Games. So I think that's somewhere in our GTM back catalogue on the channel somewhere. You can go and check that out. Have a look, find out a little bit more information on these buildings, the Wyrdscapes, but particularly on The Other Side as well. Lots of great shots as well of those minis. And of course, being steampunk influenced, there's a lot of big steam-powered robots and that sort
Yes.
of thing. So
Always more
definitely
robots.
always more. But the cool thing, of course, with terrain is you don't just have to keep it to the one game. You can, well, in this case, 3 games. You could probably use it in all 3 from Weird, but I think these would really fit into a lot of other great systems. Just
Everyone
okay.
got serious.
Hmm?
So everyone got serious, got that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
quiet, that serious business quiet going on.
It's the painting focus.
It is.
Painting focus. That's what we're doing there. Okay. How's that
Mini
looking?
Painting Studio says, also for those who don't know, the other side is made of pre-assembled minis. Still great detail.
Oh, they're pre-assembled? I did not know that. Oh. Very cool. Did you get in on the Kickstarter, Josh? Asking questions in the chat. But
Yeah, guys, talk to us.
talk to us. Let us know.
Ask us questions.
Yep. But yeah, I think this is looking good. One of the things I'll get to do, maybe when I get all the bricks painted. I don't think I'll get all the bricks painted in time today. I'll come back and do a dry brush over the. Basically, I'll let Mel know, well, if he's still watching, I have a large brush. Or if that's not big enough, I have an even larger brush. There you go, Mel. Got those ready for you. But I can come back once we've got
Are
all
you
the.
going to lick those?
No. Certainly not when it's got paint on it. Because I don't want to be bringing that to a fine point. That would be bad. Yeah, I have actually no desire, no reflex to.
No reflex to lick those?
No,
None?
not for that. Certainly with this brush, though, the little brush. This one. But yeah, so I'll just come along in, with a really light sort of bone color and give a dry brush over the whole thing. So you can tie together all of the different colors. I'll show them here.
Mini Painting Studio says, boy, you know I backed to 2-player big ol' set.
Cool.
John says, how is Dave going to lick that giant brush? The answer is just like that. And Mel says, lightweight.
Yeah, I know.
Go big or go home.
Okay, Mel, you're going to have to post some pictures of your large brushes. Your biggest brush. Post a photo. Challenge has been thrown out.
Big
We
long.
have like a bigger brush contest going on.
Possibly. Possibly. I knew he'd say that, though. I knew it. So,
Make sure to stick around on the Game Trade Media page afterwards and check out all the contests, of
Yep.
course. And Mini Painting Studio says, oh, wow, can we Photoshop Dave with that brush stash?
the brush stash. Sure. I'm here for your entertainment. Maybe. Education and entertainment. We're going to do that.
You
Do
always
both of them.
manage to do both.
Both. Yep. I try. How's that looking?
Sound good.
You happy with that?
Trying to, yeah.
I like those colors. They've got a very, it's like a very 20s kind of feel.
Oh wow, I like those colors.
Yeah, I like the dark brass a little bit more than the bright, but I figure the bright can be used to add some detail here or there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So,
But
what color did you use for that, for the edging there?
For the edging here, I used
Is that tinny tin?
Tinny Tin.
Tinny tin.
And your Tinny Tin is running out.
It is.
You use that quite a bit.
I know. I think Rick used a big lob of it at one stage. Just squirted it all out over the palette. But maybe I can get him to buy me a new one.
Hint, hint.
Do you think I should try that?
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge, boss. No, that's cool. Paints get used. That's okay. And what are you using for the green?
For the green, I'm using a mix of.
Oh, we're going to close up on.
Oh,
you show that.
okay, yay. What is this? It just says.
No. Oh, yeah, USMC Tank Crew.
Yes.
Here it
And
is.
then mixing that up with the Hex Wraith Flame.
X-Ray Flame. That's the one we
So
used.
it's a little bit more of a wash.
Yeah.
Little-
Used that a couple of weeks ago on the Night Haunts,
Yes.
which was cool. So, how are we looking on time?
4 minutes.
That went really fast.
You're slacking it. Slacking, Leona. Slacking. Totally slacking.
A minute.
Oh no.
So, okay, we're coming towards the end. We're almost there. Have I gone through and said everything that I need to say? Say it again. Should I begin with the competitions? Sure, let's. Okay, on the Game Trade Media Facebook page, as a pinned post or announcement, there is a competition to guess how many dice are in the glass pumpkin of doom. Just remember, I added 1 die this afternoon, so it's thrown off the count. And the prize for that is this wonderful board game here from Avalon Hill, is Betrayal at House on the Hill. So you can win that by guessing the number of dice in here correctly. Also if you go to the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group, join there and then post photos of your painting place. So wherever you happen to paint, post some photos of that. Next week we'll be selecting somebody at random from those people who post to win the Warhammer Age of Sigmar box set here. Hooray, there it is. Woo. This one's got a whole bunch of minis. We've got 18 of the Stormcast Eternals and 29 of the Blood Reavers, or the Bloodbound, or the Blood something. The guys with all the blood. So the Khorne warriors there. There is also another competition, which is over on the Game Trade Media page, I think. Excellent.
You can do it, Dave.
It's a D&D thing. So if you're into your D&D, go and check that out.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. So join the group, enter the competitions, share and like our pages and our channel and all that sort of fun stuff. We've been painting the Solarium from Wyrdscapes. We're all working on different elements of it. Thursday we're continuing to paint this and probably talking a little bit about the haunting of Hill House because I know that Rick's seen it. We didn't want to spoil anything for Gretchen.
I'll have to catch up in that time.
You have to catch
Because I'll be
up.
painting with you all.
Yeah. So make sure you do.
All
Catch
right,
up.
homework,
We've got 2
homework.
days.
It can only
2
take
days.
it'll only take you 2 days. Trust me.
It'll only take 10
Only 2
hours
days. Only 2
to binge the whole thing. What? 1 minute. Fantastic. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to say is make sure you head to your local game store. You'll be able to pick up the Wyrdscapes at your local game store. I think the Solarium is $65.
Ooh.
So very good price for a nice, large, chunky piece of terrain.
You get a whole house.
Nice.
$65.
You get a full house. But yeah, while you're there, check out their painting table, painting area, talk to folks who are working there, check out their gaming space, get involved with the local community. I think that's really an important thing that we want to do. Oh, that's another picture that I forgot to mention. I didn't send it to Leona. I can't remember who it was, might be Simon as well, posted a photo of a group of friends sitting around eating curry just before they got stuck into their big game night.
Nice.
So he said, I'm not really sure if this belongs here. And I was like, it totally belongs here because it's all about community, everything that we try and do. So thanks very much, everybody, for joining us. I've been Dave.
I'm Mia.
I'm Gretchen.
And we'll see you at the game store.
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.